ever looked at your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? Or have you found yourself lying awake at night just thinking about the bills, the debt, your job, or just imagining where you're going to get the money to take care and provide for your family? Perhaps you're starting over several times that you can count. Maybe you have failed in business, lost your job, made poor financial decisions, or life simply happened. If that's you, I want you to know something today. You are not alone. And most importantly, you are not finished. Welcome to Rebuild. Welcome to Broke Rebuild. This channel isn't about pretending that life is perfect. This channel is about rebuilding your finances, rebuilding your mindset, rebuilding your confidence, and ultimately rebuilding your life. Before we dive into money tips and strategies, I think it's important you know why this channel exists. Like many people, I haven't always figured everything out. I've experienced setbacks myself. I've experienced uncertainty. I've experienced seasons where I wondered what is coming next. Life has always changed my plans, sometimes through my own mistakes and sometimes through circumstances we never choose. And what I've learned from this is that being broke isn't only about money. You can have money and still feel lost. You can have a good job and still feel trapped. You can smile in public while worrying in private. That's why broke rebuild isn't just about making money, just making more money every time. It's about rebuilding from the inside because your mindset changes, your habits change. And when your habits change, your finances begin to change. And when your finances improve, you begin to believe that there is a different future that is possible. One of the biggest lies many of us believe is that my current situation defines my future. If you're unemployed, you think that's your identity. And if you're in debt, you think you'll always be in debt. If your business has failed, you think, oh, you're a failure. But none of these define who you are. These are situations, not identities. There's a huge difference. Think about a house after a storm. The roof may be damaged, the windows may be broken, the walls may need repair, but no one says, let's give up on the whole house. Why? Because the foundation is still there. And I believe many of us are like that house. Life has damaged some areas, but the foundation can still be rebuilt. What does broke really mean? When people hear the word broke, they usually think about money. But being broke can show up in different ways. You can be broke financially because your income doesn't cover your expenses. You can be broke emotionally because you're exhausted from carrying everyone's burden. You can be broke mentally because you have stopped believing things can improve. You can be broke in your confidence because repeated setbacks, have made you doubt yourself. You can be broke in direction because you're working hard but don't know where you're headed. Many of us have experienced more than one of these at the same time. And that's why simply earning more money doesn't solve everything. I've seen people on high salaries living from payday to payday. I've seen people with successful businesses overwhelmed by debt. I've seen people with very impressive careers who feel empty inside. Rebuilding has to be holistic. It's about your money, your habits, your thinking, and your purpose. So, where do we start? Not with perfection, not with having all the answers. We start with honesty. The first step is to face reality. Take an honest look at your current situation. How much do you earn? How much do you spend? How much do you owe? You cannot change what you are unwilling to measure. That is just the hard fact of life. You must think critically about where you are and be confident that This is what it looks like. Face the reality head on and then be ready to make the next steps. And the second step will be to stop comparing. You know, social media makes it seems like everyone is winning. But remember, people often post the highlights, not their struggles. Focus on your journey. Comparison steals joy, it steals your energy and distracts you from your own progress. So stop comparing yourself with someone else. The next step is to build daily small habits. Real change rarely comes from one dramatic moment. It comes from consistent actions. Maybe today it might mean that saving £5, is all you can do instead of spending it. That little act goes a long way in helping rebuild your finances. Maybe it means like reading a chapter, from a finance book. Maybe it's just saying no to unnecessary purchase. Small choices repeated over time create big results. Step 4, invest in your mind. The way you think about money really matters. If you constantly tell yourself, I'll never get ahead, people like me can never become wealthy, there is no point trying. You will struggle to see opportunities when they come. Replace those thoughts with truths to say, I can learn, I can improve, I can rebuild. And step 5 will be don't rebuild alone. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth. Community matters, you know, and that is the reason why this channel exists. I want this to be a place where we can learn together, celebrate progress, support one another through setbacks. Every week on Broke Rebuild, we'll talk about real life topics like creating budgets you can actually stick to, breaking the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, paying off your debt, building an emergency fund, starting a side hustle, developing a healthier money mindset, rebuilding confidence after failure, growing through discipline and faith. This isn't, about becoming rich overnight. This is about becoming, making money fast. But it's about having a plan and then working with that plan and then seeing results. You know, it's about making steady progress, sustainable growth, one step at a time. One verse that has encouraged me so much through difficult, seasons is Joel 2:25, which says, I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten. Notice that God doesn't only promise new blessings, He speaks about restoration. That means what you feel that is lost today, doesn't have to end your story. Restoration may take time, effort, preservation, but it is possible. you know Whether your setback came through your own personal decisions, circumstances beyond your control, you can begin rebuilding from where you are today. So before our next episode, I would like you to complete one exercise. Take a notebook and open the notes on the notes app on your phone and answer 3 questions. One, where am I financially today? Two, what is one habit that is holding me back? And three, what is one small action I can take to begin rebuilding? Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. If today's video resonates with you, I'd like to hear from you. Leave me a comment below and answer this question. What are you rebuilding today? It could be your finances, it could be your confidence, your career, your relationships, or simply a new hope for the future. Your story might just encourage someone else who reads it in the comments. So if you're already ready to take this journey with me, kindly subscribe to Broke Rebuild Let's rebuild together, one step at a time, one habit at a time, and one day at a time. So I'll see you in my next episode where we'll tackle a question many people ask: why am I always broke? Is it really because I don't earn enough? Take care and remember, your current situation, it's a chapter, not the full story. I love you and stay tuned for more episodes like this. Thank you. Bye.